guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing the baby name tag by Strum. She posted her video last week and I thought it would be a really lovely tag to do. So yeah, that's what we're doing today, so let's get straight into it. So the first question is, what is a name that you love but are too scared to use? So for me personally, when I was pregnant with Sam, I loved the name Archer. He was basically born in like a month where a lot of lunar events happened, and Archer had like quite a lunar meaning, so I really liked that, but in the end it was just too out there for us, and I know it's not, you know, like a hideously unusual name, but for our situation, especially because we already had a Sophie, and that's a relatively normal name, Archer was just too much and wouldn't go. I don't have a girl's name because Sophie was pretty much always going to be Sophie with the odd other name, you know, chucked in there that I did like, but I knew she was always going to be Sophie. So the next question is, what is your favourite name from your family tree or ancestry? For a girl, again, Sophie. I have a cousin called Sophie. She's my age, a year older than me. She's not the reason why I called my daughter Sophie, but the name was already in the family and it didn't put me off calling my daughter Sophie. That's how much I liked the name, because I know some people are like, oh, but we already have a so-and-so, so we can't use that name. That was never a thought at all with calling my daughter Sophie, because I just liked the name so much. For a boy, I would never use this, but I do like the name. My granddad's name was Stanley, and yeah, it's not a name that I would use, but it's very in at the moment. All of those old-fashioned names are coming back, so I do like my granddad's name, Stanley. So question number 3 is, what unpopular name do you think should come back? So I went on Google, as you do, searching for unpopular names, but a lot of the ones that came up I didn't think were all that unpopular, so it was a little bit difficult. So for a boy, I actually chose Charles, which was actually on the list of potential names for Sam, my son, because I loved the fact that he would be Charlie as a baby, toddler, child, whatever, and then, you know, as he got older he could move to Charles and it was more, you know, it was a name that could grow with the person basically, and so I do love that name. And then for a girl, I quite liked Muriel, because I liked the fact that it was very artistic sounding. Obviously if you paint, you would potentially paint a Muriel, so I loved that. So for a girl I decided to go with Muriel. So question number 4 is, what name did you love growing up? Now for a boy, I always loved the name Matthew, and back before I was ever pregnant, me and my husband were discussing potential baby names, as you do, and I mentioned Matthew to him, but he had a Matthew in his side of the family and he wasn't keen on the idea, even though I just said a few minutes ago about Sophie already being in my family, but it didn't bother me. He already had a Matthew in his family and it did bother him, but it bothered both of us that Matthew would end up being called Matt. I'm not as keen on the name Matt as I am on Matthew, so unfortunately it would be very silly of me to think that I could influence other people to not call my child Matt if I did call him Matthew. So that name went out of the option window, because we just didn't like what it was going to end up being shortened to. For a girl, I was obsessed when I was younger with the name Sarah, and I don't know why. It's not a name that I would ever use now at this point in life it was never on a list of potential names for Sophie. So yeah, I'm not quite sure why, because I don't even remember it being like in a program that I loved or anything like that, but I was utterly obsessed with the name Sarah, to the point that I wished that my mom had called me Sarah. Question number 5 is, what's your favourite 1-syllable name or 4-syllable name or longer? So for a girl, I loved the name Isabella when I was pregnant with Sophie, but Jake was never that keen, and we had already agreed on Sophie, so it was kind of a, you know, a non-argument, if you like. But I have always liked the name Isabella. And then a 1-syllable name for a girl, I actually went with Wren, and this is W-R-E-N, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is the middle name that Fleur has given River, Fleur de Force. So I believe her name is River Wren. I'm not sure, I swear that I watched a video when she was very first born, and that was her, yeah, it would have been her name announcement video. But I'm sure that was what it was. I haven't gone back to check, but I'm sure that her middle name was Wren, and I do like that name. I think it's lovely. I didn't find any 4-syllable name or longer for boys that I liked. The only one that I could come up with to start with was Alexander, and it's not a name that I personally am a fan of, so I didn't come up with any longer names for boys. But for shorter names, I liked Max or George, and that's a nice short syllable, even though it's got a lot of letters in it. It's not like Jack that's only got 4. But yeah, so we like the name George and Max. So question number 6 is, which of your friends or a celebrity has a name combination that gives you name envy? Now, it will probably surprise her, because I know she will watch this video, but my best friend Amy, she has a boy and a girl, and they are called Stanley and Delilah. Again, neither one of them are names that I would use personally, but I do think the combination of them together is just gorgeous, and she does like the more unusual and uncommon names. But I just think that they sound really cute together, Stanley and Delilah, so I do love the combination that she's chose, even though I wouldn't use them myself. Question number 7 is a name based on your favourite season. I did try to Google names with the meaning of like winter or anything like that. Couldn't find any that I liked, so I'm just going to stick with winter. I loved the name Winter as an option for Sophie. Absolutely loved it, and nobody else liked it, and I was so gutted. But yeah, again, she was Sophie before we were even pregnant, so it was a bit silly of me to look at other names really, so that serves me right. Question number 8 is a favourite name based on a favourite movie. So I went with Bella from Twilight, because that goes with Isabella, which I've already mentioned that I liked. And sorry, I was just looking down at my list and I've just realised that both of the names are from Twilight. So yeah, Bella for a girl, and then Jacob for a boy. My husband is called Jacob, and I do love the name, and it would have been a potential name for Sammy if it wasn't my husband's name. We didn't want the whole confusion of them both having the same names, so that was taken straight off the table. But yeah, so both of my movie names happen to come from the same film, and it's, you know, arguably one of the most Marmite films ever. But I love the Twilight series. I know that makes me a proper geek, but there you go. Okay, question number 9 is a name associated with your favourite food. I tried to look for names that went with or had a meaning of like sugar or sweet or anything like that. Couldn't find any that I liked at all, so I decided to go with Cocoa because I love chocolate. Wouldn't use it myself, but yeah, I don't mind the name, you know, in the grand scheme of things. So. And finally, question number 10 is a name associated with your hometown. So I did this a little bit differently. I didn't do my hometown, I did the area in which I live. So the area that I live is called the Black Country, and if you watch Peaky Blinders, that is where I'm from, basically. So I went with names with black or dark, and the reason why we call the Black Country is because I believe we were like part of the Industrial Revolution, so there was a lot of soot about, so everything was dirty and black because it was covered in soot. So the two names that I went for were Ebony and Jet, because they both mean black, ebony for a girl, jet for a boy. And I do actually like them. I think that's really nice. Yeah, I'm not sure I would ever be brave enough to have used that combination, but I do love it. So there you go, that is the baby name tag. If you want to join in, please join in. It is an open tagged game. I don't really have anybody on YouTube to tag anyway, so I tag you. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you liked the new intro, if you like the setup. Let me know, and I will see you again next time. Bye!